Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Soph. For today's video we're going to be doing a tag video, and it's the beginning of the new year tag. I saw Cass from Cassandra Reads, is that her channel? I saw her do this and I thought those are really good questions, but I believe the original person is Larry Reed. If I can find the link I will put it in the description box. It's a series of 18 questions and I'm just going to answer them about the new year, and it'll be really fun to look back at the end of the year and see which ones I actually stuck to, because I guarantee it will be 0. No joke. So number 1 is, how many books are you planning on reading in 2025? So I have set my goal to 62. My goal last year was 60. I read 65, I think. So I've put it sort of in the middle. If I read more, then that's cool. If I read less, then I'm honestly not that bothered, because I do prioritize like quality. I don't want to force myself to read books that I don't enjoy. I don't want to send myself into slumps by like forcing myself to read 5 books a month. If there's a month where I just really don't feel like reading and I want to do a different hobby, then I will do. It's no biggie. So my goal is 62, but I'm flexible about it. Number 2 is a book you're likely to reread this year. That's really hard. If I am completely honest, I think the only book that I am likely to reread is Throne of Glass, because I did the full series last year for the first time, and now that I've reached the end of it, I feel like I would love to go back in and really like delve into it with annotations and like just writing my thoughts as I go and picking out all the like foreshadowing and stuff, because when I reread ACOTAR I still find new things that signal like what happens near the end. And yeah, I just feel like that would be probably the only one that I would reread. At this current moment in time, I'm not planning on rereading anything, but that could change. And as of this moment, the only one I can think of that I would be likely to is Throne of Glass, but again, that can change. Number 3, a priority read on your 2025 TBR. There's one book that quickly comes to mind, and that is A House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J Maas. I've put it off for so long now. I feel like I just need to get it read. I need to, like, regardless of what her next book is, I feel like I will need to read it because it'll probably be intertwined. So, but I've just been putting it off because the ratings are not great. And like I said before, I don't want to be put in a reading slump. So I don't want to put too much pressure on reading it. But that is my priority because I am behind in the series now. Other than that, there isn't really anything that I have on a priority right now. Of course, there could be some new releases that come out that become a priority, but right now, the first one that jumps in my brain straight away is House of Flame and Shadow, which is sad because I don't know if I'm ready to do that yet. Number 4, an author you won't be reading more books from this year. I did have one. Tessa Bailey. I will not be reading any more Tessa Bailey. Purely because of my one experience of her last year, which was My Killer Vacation. I don't know what in the world that book was, but I actually had to laugh my way through it because otherwise I was going to cry. And judging just off of that book, I am not going to be reading any more Tessa Bailey. I have looked at the reviews on some of her other books and they're not that much better. So I have no reason to continue reading any of her books. The other one I would like to say is Colleen Hoover. I've kind of outgrown the Colleen Hoover books, but I don't want to say that I'll never read them because she could quite easily bring out a book that piques my interest. Verity is an exception to the rule. I loved Verity, but it's completely different to her romances. So we will see about that one, but definitely Tessa Bailey. Number 5, something new you want to read, either new genres or tropes. I would really like to read a classic or more classics. I read The Great Gatsby last year. Really didn't enjoy it actually, but I would love to find a classic that I do enjoy. That is like my goal. I love The Great Gatsby movie and I like the story within The Great Gatsby, but the style of writing just did not mesh well with me, and I really find it, I feel stupid because I find it hard to read those denser writings, even though like when I was at school English Lit was like my favourite subject, and I almost took it as an A level as well. I would love to find a classic that I enjoy enough to keep. I do have a few on my shelves. I have Frankenstein, I have Dracula, and I have Pictures of Dorian Gray, so I'm hoping one of those three I will really enjoy. As for trope, I don't really look for tropes in books, to be honest. The main one I read is Enemies to Lover, but I don't go into a book looking for the tropes. I'm not really a tropes person, to be honest. Sometimes they'll like pique my interest more for a book, but I never search for books with specific tropes. Number 6, a popular book you want to read. Again, the first one that jumps to my mind is Quicksilver. I know that's been very popular, and I'm pretty sure it's already been picked up to be turned into a TV series or a movie, so I do want to read that, but that I've already mentioned on my channel a few times now, but that is the first one that jumps to mind, is Quicksilver. 7, most anticipated 2025 book release. Well, it was Onyx Storm, but now I don't really know. Oh, The Rebel Witch by Kristen Ciccarelli, which is number 2 to The Crimson Moth. I absolutely loved The Crimson Moth, and I think many of us did, and I'm very excited to carry on that story. That is a highly anticipated one for me, and it comes out in like 8 days. I need to pre-order it. Oh my gosh, I didn't realise it was that soon. Yes, I'm very excited for that one. Number 8, a bookish goal for 2025. I would love to actually take part in a reading challenge. I know there is a few going on, there always are. So I would like to actually fully take part in a reading challenge this year. I follow so many booktubers that do so many book challenges or like readathons or whatever, and I'm always there for the sprints that I can be there for, but I never fully take part in the actual like challenge, whether it's like the Realmathon one or the magic one or like the romance one. I never like fully take part, like use the prompts or anything like that, so I would really love to like completely take part in at least one book challenge this year. 9, a book that's been on your TBR you probably won't ever read. First one that came to mind was this. This has been on my TBR for about 4 years. It's a Snow White retelling. The main character is called Sophie, and yeah, I picked it up thinking that sounds really good, you know, it's YA, Snow White retelling, what could go wrong? Never picked it up. Not once have I picked it up. I think I put it on a TBR like a long time ago when I was using a randomizer to pick my TBR. Never read it. Never read it. And still, I keep it on my shelves, even when I did a clear out the other day, which, by the way, I have so many books listed on Vinted, which I will put in my description box. There's just something that draws me to her, but I just don't want to read her. And I just don't think I ever will. So maybe I should pass her on to somebody that will, but I just don't know. Number 10, a series you want to read this year. That's easy. The Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare. I've wanted to read it for ages and ages. You know, it's set in Victorian London, it's Shadowhunters. I've heard it's 10 times better than the Shadowhunters books. So that is a series that I want to complete. I want to start and complete this year. And then I want to go on to the next one, which is I don't know what the series is called, but it's like the Chain of Gold, Chain of Iron, Chain of Thorns. Then I want to go on to that one, because that's meant to be really good as well. Then I will feel like I've completed my life as a booktuber. Number 11, your auto by authors going into 2025. So definitely Sarah J Maas, but that could change after I read House of Flame and Shadow. Kerry Maniscalco tends to be auto by at the moment. And Alex Michaelides, the thriller author, he was auto by. The Fury was not good, in my opinion, at all. I actually DNF'd it. So he's on the edge at the moment. If he releases another one and it's good, then great. If it's awful, then I'm done. I'm done. I love The Silent Patient and I love The Maidens, but The Fury just did not even come remotely close to either of those. So yeah, so my main ones would be Sarah J Maas and Kerry Maniscalco, and potentially Alex Michaelides. Oh, and Elsie Silver, my cowboy romance queen, will always be auto buy for me. Always. 12. A book to show adaptation you're excited about this year. Honestly, I don't think there is any. I don't really like look for them, to be honest. so I don't really know what's out there. Obviously, like I said before, Quicksilver is apparently becoming a TV show, but I haven't read Quicksilver, so I don't know if I care about that or not. So yeah, I don't really have one for that. That question's kind of an NA for me. 13, a sequel you're anticipating. Again, it would be The Rebel Wit. I've already used that. No, there isn't really any. I know that the sequel to When the Moon Hatched is coming out this year, which I am anticipating, but I haven't read When the Moon Hatched yet, so for all I know, I'm gonna hate it, and then I won't be anticipating it. But I guess that would be what I would go for. I'm not sure what it's called. Number 14, bookish things you're leaving in 2024. First of all would be forcing myself to finish book, because DNFing shouldn't be a thing. Yes, it should. If you're not enjoying a book, DNF it. You don't know how much time you have in this world. Why are you wasting time reading books that you don't enjoy when there are so many books that you will enjoy? Like, I have probably like 200 books on my shelves. Half of them I haven't read. Why am I wasting my time on this one book that I don't enjoy, and I don't even care what the ending is? That's how I felt about The Fury by Alex Michaelides. That was the first book I think I've ever actually fully DNF'd, and I was so happy that I did it. And I actually skipped to the end to be like, okay, so what is going to be the twist then? And I'd already guessed it in the prologue. There was no twist. It was obvious from the get-go. So that is what I'm leaving in 2024. The inability to DNF, because everyone should be able to DNF a book. So I'm talking to you. If you're not enjoying that book, DNF it. If you have to soft DNF it and come back to it later, do that. I did that with Crush by Tracy Wolff. I really wanted to go further in the story, but the main character was annoying me so much that I didn't want to read the book. So I put it down, but I will come back to it when I feel like I can tolerate her. That is what we should be leaving in 2024. Number 15, what to expect from this account. So I'm hoping to be a lot more reliable, a lot more consistent, and I want to bring more vlogs to the channel because I really enjoy them. I really like watching them, and I just want to take that personal time for me as well to actually create those vlogs. Like, because if I'm doing a reading vlog, that means that I'm actually reading and I'm actually taking that time back for myself to do the things that I love, to read the books that I love, to watch things that I enjoy. So me introducing the vlogs back in, because I have done a couple, and the last one I did I actually really enjoyed. Reintroducing the vlogs onto my channel is actually me allowing time for myself as well, and that is what I want to prioritize this year, because at the moment my work-life balance is not that great, and I would love for YouTube to be my work, but it's not. So I need to find ways to really take time for myself. So the vlogs hopefully will be coming at you like here, there and everywhere. I'd also like to include more lifestyle and like makeup-y bits. I did mention it at some point last year that I wanted to include makeup again, because playing with makeup is something that I really enjoy almost as much as reading books. So I would like to incorporate that back into my channel. But other than that, it is still going to be bookish, but think of it as like a bookish lifestyle beauty channel. But I just want everyone to feel comfortable. I want everyone to be able to share their experiences, their opinions, and just talk about books. Like, we're all here because we love books, right? There's no right or wrong answer here. 16. How has your reading taste evolved from last year? Well, I don't know about from last year. I'd say it's pretty much the same. But from when I first started my booktube version of my channel and I started getting into books, the books that I read back then that I rated like 5 stars, I would not rate 5 stars now. And I feel like my opinions on writing has definitely got more like refined. Back then I rated a book on just like how much I enjoyed it, but these days I think about like, did the writing style mesh well with me? Did I actually enjoy the characters? Did they have good development? Did the plot make sense? Was there plot holes? So I definitely have a bigger criteria when rating my books now, and books that I read before that I think back now and think, oh, I love that book. If I read it now, I don't think I would. Not all of them. Some of them I would, but not all of them. So I would say that my reading taste has just got a lot more refined, and I have better expectations for books. 17. Booktube creators who inspire you. There are so many. I'm going to have to go on my YouTube. Becca from Becca in the Books. I love her Shelve It or Scrap It and her vlogs. Brittany from Brittany the Bibliophile, but she hasn't uploaded in like a year, which makes me really sad. Gav from Gavin Reads It All. I love his hour-long videos. I will literally just chill and read whilst he like does his vlog in the background. Absolutely love them. Jodie from Jodie, it used to be Vanilla Moon. She's great. I love her content. It's like everything that I aspire to be. and she has very similar taste in books to me, so I take her recommendations very seriously. Chloe from Chloe Bunny, she's in Australia and she is great. I just find her the funniest, sweetest person. I absolutely love watching her vlogs all the time. And Tori from Tori and the Books, love her vlogs. I feel like if we met, we would be like best friends. Honestly, her taste in like Bookman and everything she says about the books, I'm just like, okay, I want to read that. I want to read that. I want to read that. So I feel like we have very similar tastes. So those are the ladies and men that encourage me to make better content, encourage me to read, and yeah, I just love them all. They don't know who I am, which is absolutely fine, but I absolutely love them all. They all make my day when I see that they upload. Number 18, something you want to say to anyone wanting to start a bookish account. Honestly, don't put pressure on yourself. Just do what you love. Talk about what you love. You can't really go wrong. I came from when I started my YouTube channel, I started it as a beauty channel, and I just decided that I hated the like industry and some of the people that were in it, and it was just such a toxic environment and so competitive. The bookish community is so kind, so inclusive, and you can't really do anything wrong. Just come and talk about what you love. If your favorite type of book is historical, non-fiction historical, come and talk to us about historical non-fiction. If your favorite is poetry, read us some poetry. Tell us why you love that poetry. Honestly, there's nothing you can do wrong with booktube. Just make sure you give the love to the books that you love. That's all you can do. Show what you love, what you enjoy, and I guarantee you there will be people out there that have the same opinions, or maybe they don't, but they want to have a discussion about it. You will find so many kind-hearted people in the bookish community that if you want to start a bookish account, whether it's on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, there is so many people out there that are ready to see you. Honestly, I'm so glad that I came to this side of content creation, and I don't think I'll ever leave. Honestly, it's the best. So that is my start of the year book tag. Please let me know any answers to any of the questions, and I will link the original video down below, or it might be a blog actually, I'm not sure, but I will link it down below, and I'll also link my Vinted. So if you're wanting to pick up any bargain books, I have a few exclusives on there which are obviously more expensive, but they're like £10-ish. Yeah, I will link that all below, but please let me know your opinions on some of the questions. I want to hear from you. So yeah, I hope you're having a lovely day, afternoon or night, wherever you are, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!